Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this wonderful Thursday evening. Even though the weather is quite nippy here in Chicago and the greater Northeast, it is a beautiful winter night. We did have some snow over the last 24 hours. No, it stopped snowing. I'm so confused. I'm lost with my days, K. Renee. When did it stop snowing?
It started on Monday night and then
Okay.
Tuesday, and it's supposed to snow this weekend. So
Uh, uh,
for
all
us
right.
Chicagoans, we got to dig deep and stay in the house again.
Yes, we do. All right. Well, we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. It is a lot to talk about tonight. We just found out that we lost a Hollywood icon and legend. Miss Cicely Tyson has passed away at the age of 96. She has distinguished herself among the greats of all greats. And you guys know this woman next to me is our co-host, Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets. Let's bring her on in. I'm emotional. I had to get me a glass of wine for tonight's show. I know Miss Kim is just crushed. Her dad just bought her Cicely Tyson's book as a birthday gift for her upcoming birthday. So we'll have to have her on Monday night just to talk about the impact of Cicely Tyson. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-host, the one and only Miss K. Renee. What's up, darling? This is heartbreaking.
Before we went live, and I'm still trying to deal with this issue with the StreamYard. Now, thankfully, you know how we roll. I said I will do this on my phone, and literally, I saw the news. I got my alert. I said, no, that can't be right. So, of course, I Googled real quick, and sure enough, all the news reports are just talking about Miss Cicely. Queen Cicely is now no longer. She's with our ancestors now, and my heart hurts. I'm really hurt because I just watched Sounder literally over the last weekend. So I have no words.
We are beyond devastated. We all know that 2020 was the year from HELL. But the deaths this year, I mean, we even have to mention the fact that legendary actress Cloris Leachman died yesterday. You and I were going to talk about that further down, in news tonight. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family. But then, we have to look at it like this as well, too. These were iconic and great women, and they both lived into their 90s. And so, it's inevitable that they would have to eventually pass, but both just iconic women in many ways.
Absolutely. And Cicely was on, How to Get Away with Murder with Viola Davis, still doing her thing. And so I have no words. This is just really surreal right now.
It really is.
We're hearing this, but you're right, Kim. She lived a full life, and how we can honor Cicely is to live our lives fully to the great. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be that dash. So let's take this moment to truly begin to live our dash, because you just don't know. Tomorrow's not promised. It really isn't.
No, it's not. All right. Well, with that being said, again, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. This amazing young lady in the box next to me is K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. It sounds like it should be a cereal. You know what I'm saying? It sounds as if it should be on a menu somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Like them golden Bitons, right?
Yeah, baby, like the golden Bitons. Like the golden Bitons, baby. Yes, the golden Bitons. Yes, absolutely. So that's our wonderful co-host. And coming up on tonight's show, we got thrown off this evening, you guys, and we apologize, but legendary actress Cicely Tyson has passed away at the age of 96, and we just had to acknowledge her. We'll talk more about her life on Monday on the show. Kim says she'll join us on Monday because that was her acting hero. So we'll talk about that on Monday. Well, coming up on tonight's show, everyone in Chicago and the surrounding areas are really concerned about the upsurge in armed robberies and carjackings here in our fair city. And so tonight joining us will be Safety Educator Javondlynn You guys remember Javondlynn? We just love and adore her. Dunagan, owner of JMD Defense LLC, and she's going to talk to us about staying alert, being careful, doing all the right things to keep you and your family safe during these turbulent times. And it's the beginning of the year, and we've made a pact to try to help you guys to find love and relationships this year. And so tonight we're going to do a roundtable conversation with yours truly. Hopefully Raquel will be out by 8 o'clock. Raquel can join that conversation at 8 o'clock. Kay Renee, we'll let her leave after the first hour. We want Raquel at 8 o'clock. Joining the conversation is our wonderful astrologer from last week, Miss Xavier Fox. And then from the week before, Brother Leon Walker is back. And we're going to talk about situations and scenarios. And I think the four of us should cover a lot of things tonight. It should be fun. All right. So Kay Renee, what a day. Cecily Tyson passing away. Cloris Leachman yesterday. Trying to get our children back in school here in Chicago. Monday is the deadline for back in school instruction. What do you think about all of that?
I've been hearing about Dr. Fauci kept saying that, kids being in school is a lot more safer than the community at large. But see, he doesn't live in Chicago. See, I don't know about Atlanta, but these folks in Chicago, a lot of parents are still tenuous and like they're not comfortable bringing their child for in-person learning. And I can understand from both sides, even teachers, they're trying to teach our children and then they have to come home with their families. So it's a catch-22. But I think the concern, honestly, because I have a cousin who is an educator who's also an assistant principal. She's on the administration side. A lot of these buildings, these high school buildings, are probably not kept up to snuff. And I think that could be the teacher's concern, which I would be concerned as well too.
Sure. I it's all about cleanliness. It's all about the air quality. It's all about, social distancing. What people need to keep in mind, even after people receive these shots, we will still have to wear masks for a long time. We still will not be able to do things as we were used to before. The 25% capacity at places will probably stick around for quite a while. And, we're in this for the long haul. The way I look at it, and we've got to protect ourselves. And I don't blame these teachers. If you are fearful, if you knew the conditions were bad before this pandemic, imagine. Exactly. Yes.
And I think that's the concern. And even though the Board of Education, and I have a feeling that Madam Lori may jump in the fray regarding this situation, because they're concerned from the board and mayor that the teachers may go on strike.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not. This new normal we're living in, nothing surprises me anymore,
Absolutely.
All right, let's continue on with our evening show. Illinois public health officials announced today 4,191 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19. Unfortunately, we had 103 additional fatalities in the last 24 hours. This now brings the total number of statewide deaths to 19,067 since the start of the pandemic. And so, you guys be careful. I understand our numbers are coming down though, and things seem to be getting a little bit better. I am noticing on television and on social media that travel is being promoted now, doing more things out. I'm so glad that sports is coming back for our Illinois students here. And so, it seems as if once the changing of the guard happened, and I said this the other night on the show, that I find it interesting that things seem to be breathing a little bit better now for humanity.
Well, speaking of sports, former football lineman Michael Strahan, unfortunately, he had a date with Rona. He's been, he contracted Rona. I was wondering what happened to him on Good Morning America, and today Robin Roberts announced that although he's fine, he has contracted coronavirus, and he has to quarantine now. So
Yeah, but now I'm wondering about everybody else that he was sitting on that set with. I mean, Michael Strahan has a lot of jobs. Michael Strahan, the running joke. He must be Jamaican because Michael Strahan has been continuously on airplanes, traveling, doing things. And then I'm just worried about, people like Robin and people that sitting there with him. And, so it's all a lot to think about. That's why, look, I'm staying in my bubble until they come get me. Look,
that's right.
right. Yes.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, staying in my bubble till they come. Till y'all call for me. I'm staying in my bubble. How about that? All right. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. This amazing young lady is our co-host, K Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Sold at a grocery store near you. Tonight we have another great show planned for you. We have much to talk about. We started our show off tonight by breaking the news that legendary actress Cicely Tyson has passed away at the age of 96. I remember her. My first introduction was Miss Jane Pittman, and yes, Miss Jane Pittman, and it goes on for her career that has spanned decades. Right now, we're talking about all the top news stories of the day. Where were you 35 years ago today, K Renee? Do you remember?
Oh, yes, because I was here. And you may remember, for those Chicagoans, a certain football team won the Super Bowl, and they were scheduled to go to the White House to celebrate with Ronald Reagan, and something traumatic happened on this date 35 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 35 years ago, this day, I thought about this. I said, my God, I am so of a routine person. I was in the bed having my coffee and was watching TV, and it was the live broadcast. I will never forget that. And the shuttle just exploded. Today marks the 35th anniversary of the space shuttle exploding in midair after takeoff. Something that was really just horrific. Ronald Reagan was our president at the time, and I'll never forget that. You're right. You're absolutely right. And matter of fact, Reagan had to come on and address the nation, the country, and to help ease young people's fears, because this was being broadcast in schools. Whenever the shuttle, that was a school event. But I'll never forget, I was in bed drinking coffee, watching the morning news.
And think about it, this are not only, Ronald McNair was the only Black astronaut, but also Krista McCullough, who was a teacher who was on the Challenger, along with, 5 other astronauts. And so I still, there's been schools named after Krista McCullough and Ronald McNair, but to the rest of the astronauts and their families, I know this has to be a very painful day, because it only lasted 78 seconds.
Yes.
They took off, and then, because I remember watching it, and I thought, well, is that supposed to happen?
Right.
I think everybody did a double take, like, that's not supposed to happen. And then as time kept marching on, we're like, wow, it exploded.
Right. Yes.
It was really deep. I remember that. I won't forget that.
No, I won't either. I will never. And again, to that type of anything that has happened, like 9/11, any of that, I remember it vividly. I don't know what the day is. So of course somebody would have to say to me, today is the day. But when people mention what it is, and I go, oh my God, I knew where I was, all of that, in the bed, watching TV, drinking coffee. And that's right. So a lot. So, all right. Well, K Renee, what you got in news and entertainment and all that? Now you going to catch Whitney Williams' mess this weekend?
This yesterday, because, I'm a sister, and I'm so proud of, and I come from corporate. Yes. Miss Rosalind Brewer, wonderful news. She is the first Black female now CEO of Walgreens. So now, because Walgreens, the corporate headquarters, based in Deerfield, which is a suburb here of Chicago, she will take over the realms of Walgreens effective I want to say March 1st because she leaves Starbucks. So she's currently the chief operating officer from Starbucks, but she's leaving that post to start another post as CEO of Walgreens. And
Wow.
this woman, let me tell you about Miss Brewer. First, she comes from Spelman, and she's a native of Detroit. So you
Yes,
know
she
she
is.
don't play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Went to Stanford Law School. She started her career at Kimberly-Clark for 22 years. Then she went on to Walmart and Sam's Club. And then she proceeded on to Starbucks. And now she is the CEO of Walgreens. And think about this, Art. There's only been 3 Black women that have earned that right to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Do you know who the first was?
Who?
Ursula Burns of Xerox.
That's right. That is right. Oh boy, I forgot you, but you're absolutely right. You are right about that.
And then let me I want to get her name right here. Mary Winston. She was an interim CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh.
Until 2019, almost 2 years ago.
I
And now
remember that.
we have Ms. Rosalind Brewer, who will be the CEO of Walgreens. So I am just so proud.
Yes, black girl magic.
Black girl magic, baby.
Black girl magic. Yes, that's what that is. Very good.
Wait a minute. Now, for those who like to schedule meetings, I'm sure all of you have heard of Candly, Candly, which is a meeting app. But check this out. I had no idea it was Black owned.
Really?
Yes.
And so what is it about?
Well, Candly, whenever you want to schedule a meeting, you send a link to whoever you want to schedule a meeting, and they give you certain dates and of which they can schedule me. It's very easy it makes the process easier to schedule meetings. But his name is Tope Awotana.
Okay.
He's the founder and CEO of Candly. And check this out. That app is valued $3 billion.
What?
$3 billion.
Well,
it was founded in 2013. He's based in Atlanta, but yeah, $3 billion.
Wow. You know what? We're going to have somebody on the show next month during Black History Month to talk to us about all of these investing apps. I know people that are raking in dollars on Fandango, whatever this stock is with GameStop.
Right.
I saw young people last night talking about GameStop and their money making. That I was like, wait a minute, when did you start investing in stock, youngin? And how did you know about GameStop and all of that? So we're gonna have to have a conversation about that because our younger generation, they're living off of this stuff.
They are, and they think about
it. Living off of it.
GameStop, I think one of the youngins had purchased stock for $150. Now is worth $1,600. I mean, they're just doing it. These hedge fund managers are probably pissed off. They say, "How dare you do this? Making the stock go, But hey, it is what it is. I'm proud of them. But yeah, we'll have to get someone to talk about how we can invest the right way.
Right?
Smart.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right. Yeah. Well, very good. What else you got in news and entertainment and all that good stuff?
Locally here in Chicago, Emmett Till, and for those who do not know Emmett Till, he was a 14-year-old based in Chicago. He went down to Mississippi for vacation. Unfortunately, in the 50s, he whistled at a white woman. And it was still Jim Crow. He couldn't do that. And unfortunately, he was beaten severely. And his mom, Mamie Till, when she brought the body back to Chicago, she wanted to let everybody know. She wanted everybody to see the damage that these white men had done to her son. Well, Chicago is now her home, which is near Woodlawn, is now a Chicago landmark.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
How cool is that? So I'm hoping it will be a national landmark, even though it's Chicago's own. It probably will have more ranking when they try to register it to be a national landmark. So that's a good thing. I just wish that Mrs. Mamie Till was alive to see this, but I know she still has family here in the city. So I'm sure they're very happy.
Well, you know what I would like to see more than anything, Kay Renee, is that once we finally secure the Obama Library and the Obama Library is up and running, because of the Hyde Park Kenwood connection, I want us to be like Washington, D.C., the Obama Library, the DuSable Museum, Emmett Till's home, Oakwood Cemetery. I want all of these to be what drive people to the South Side to want to spend money with us, want to live on the South Side, want to help rebuild the South Side. And that, that's what I want to see. So no, I'm excited about all of that. Even, the Nation of Islam, that is a beautiful building that is so well kept. And that's something that people need to see, just how impeccable Mosque Mariam is on Stony Island. So, hopefully, I'm a dreamer. I am a dreamer, and I really do believe that things manifest into themselves. But that's what I want to see happen, and make it a tourist destination and all of that. Right?
Absolutely. And then before we start doing our health segment, we got to talk about what stupid burglar stories. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. I heard about this story. I see it. All I could do is just shake my head. This Chicago robbery suspect went into a PNC bank on the north side, demanded some money, and the teller, give the teller credit, because he wanted to stall him.
Right.
She said, you need to complete a withdrawal slip.
Right.
And this dummy not only completed it, he gave her
yes. You is the dumbest ass bank robber we've ever heard of. Dumbest. Not,
I couldn't believe, even when I was listening to ABC affiliate this morning, hearing that, they had to just chuckle, and then they try to get through saying the story, because it's hard for me to even get through it now.
Right. I was watching television earlier, and Val Warner on Windy City Live. Shout out to Val and Ryan. I love both of them. Val was saying, maybe something was wrong with the guy, like maybe desperate for money. We are in very troubling times right now. But
we all have our moments, but we don't have that moment. Now, come on.
I'm kind of like Val. I'm like, well, maybe poor thing. But yeah, no, you gave your damn ID to the lady with the note saying this is a stick up. So yes, okay, or man, whoever it was at the bank. Shout out to all the tellers. Right. Shout out to all the tellers. Yes, amen. All right. Anything else we need to talk about, my dear?
I think I'm good. I'm just still laughing about this last story. So just give me a moment.
I got you. For those of you all who are just joining us, if you've not heard yet, legendary actress Cicely Tyson has passed away at the age of 96. As you guys all know, just iconic actress in so many different ways. Emmy and Tony winning actress with her distinctive career in television, film, theater, passed away this Thursday afternoon. This was announced by her manager, Larry Thompson, in a statement. And Tyson made her film debut in small roles in 1957 in 12 Angry Men. Her formal debut in 1959 is Sidney Poitier's film Odds Against Tomorrow, followed by The Comedians, The Last Angry Man, A Man Called Adam, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Boy, she did a lot of films. She was in a lot of blaxploitation. That's a hard word to say. Movies. In the late 60s, and it was in 1972 that she returned to the screen in a drama, Sounder, which captured her several Oscar nominations for Best Actress. So, Miss Jane Pittman is what I remember more than anything about Cicely Tyson and all the roles over the years. And if nothing else, shout out to her glam squad who kept her fabulous.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. Right. I'm hoping that, because who loved her and adored her is Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. So
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sure there's a tribute coming. Even though
Oh,
one thing I
absolutely.
will say that she has been revered and loved, and I know she got her roses. In fact, she was supposed to receive the Oscar, the honorary Oscar
Right.
for the Academy Awards this year. So now it has to be given posthumously. But I'm just Cicely Tyson was the type of woman that all Black women want to aspire to be because
Hmm.
she was proud of who she was and she made no bones about that at
Hmm.
all. So,
Hmm.
I am just as one of your as Kim said, she lived a full life,
She
and
did. She really did. Hmm.
I'm just glad that she came in our space while we
Hmm.
were able to be in her. I should say this: we were able to be in her space, and just so blessed from her talent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The
Yeah.
legendary Miss Cecily Tyson, dead at the age of 96. Here's the deal. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull off a socially distant, some kind of big funeral for Cecily. And I don't mean big and thousands of people, but you
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's going to be something
It has to
incredible to
be.
celebrate her life. It really
It
is.
has to be. There's no
Mhm.
question. I mean, every well-known black person is going to be like, "Well, we have to do something for Queen Cecily." So,
Right.
um,
Yes.
I'm just grateful that we had the chance. She gave us her talent, and so many not only movies, television series. I recall in Roots when she starred in Roots. The Women of
Right.
Brewster Place.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can just go on about Queen
Yes.
Cecily.
Well,
Um,
Monday night we'll pay homage to her on the show. We definitely will. Monday night we'll kick off our Black History Month. We have a great show. We'll talk about that later on, coming up on Monday night. All right. Shout out to my girl Adele Givens. I joined her tonight in her clubhouse room, talking
oh,
about sociopaths. And
uh-oh.
I love Adele Givens. I'll probably have to try to get her on the show for Black History Month. Just to honor her. I just think she's a great person altogether. But we were talking about people that are sociopaths, and that is a conversation I'm gonna see if she's willing to have on the show with us one night about
Okay.
sociopaths. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
we know a few of them.
Baby, baby.
Now
Look,
you don't want Karen to come out. See,
look,
Raquel come out a little later, but Karen can come out, and I can
look.
tell you, I
We
know about sociopaths,
I do too.
sociopathy.
I do too. And the thing is that it was so beautiful to hear Adele Givens talk about she realized that somebody was and just it was so she had to dig deep into it just to understand it more. And just some of the things that was said today, I agree as well too. But you're right. I know several as well too, and people that have gotten away with what I consider murder for
Mhm,
years. And
mhm,
and that's it's just woo, it's mind-boggling. It was a great conversation
mhm.
today. It really was. So we'll have to get a mental health expert, and we'll talk it all out because that was really
Yeah,
interesting. All
that's
right.
great.
Well, we're so glad that you guys are here with us this evening. As you all know, we are a health and wellness show. Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Yes,
And
we
we want
are.
to encourage you guys to please continue to wear your mask. We also want to shout out everyone who has taken the vaccine so far. People have been posting on social media saying that you've taken the
Mhm.
vaccine. We there we are. The more we see more people we know, and the more it gets familiar, eventually, who knows, we might get jabbed. But the thing is, right now, we're gonna stay in our bubble and continue
Yeah,
to do what we do and try to find ways to continue to do what we do, right? Is that how
absolutely.
that works? All
Absolutely.
right. Good. So we want to remind everyone that during this pandemic, it is so important that you please wear your mask. My mask tonight says wearing is caring. Wearing
Oh,
is
like that.
caring. Look at there. Wearing is caring. So make sure you cover your nose, mouth. Make sure you cover everything nice and tight. Pull it around. I know us eyeglass wearers, we're having problems because our glasses fog up. Pull your glasses down just a little bit and stick the mask under your glasses. That helps out tremendously. And keep your eyeglasses clean. That's right. You look good, Kay Renee. You really do. You
All
look
right.
good. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Another thing that we want you guys to do is wash your hands. Soap and water is the most important thing that you can use to clean. I can't talk. Cleanse your hands. I think it's the line. Cleanse your hands. If you don't have soap and water, we ask that you get hand sanitizer. Put that hand sanitizer in your hands. All right, come on. How we do this, Kay Renee?
Let me get my hand sanitizer. Hold on.
You haven't done it yet. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, here we go. Yes. Oh, look at look. And her nails all red. Oh, look. Oh, they look good too. Yes. All right. Yes. Make sure your hands are nice and dry. You don't want to light a candle, cigarette, any of those things. Poof, you go up like in smoke. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Social distance. You guys know how that works. 6 feet back, 6 feet to the side, 6 feet up, whatever the case may be, social distance. And last but not least, if you are not feeling well, we beg of you, we plead of you, we are on our hands and knees saying, if you're not feeling well, keep your ass
at home.
At home. It does not cost you anything to stay at home. People do not want you out and about if you're not feeling well. We want you guys to feel your best and just continue to do the right things to help curb COVID-19. All right. All right. That's how it all works. All right, darling. What else we need to talk about before we welcome our next guest this evening?
I'm still, trying to keep calm. And, as I said, I'm still excited about our show, but just to hear about Queen Cecily, I'm just still trying to wrap my arm around it. And even Miss Debbie saying wearing 2 masks. It has been talked about that you may have to just layer up. So whenever you go out, wear that surgical mask first and then wear your cloth mask. So, this new variant is out and about, is, probably worse than Miss Corona. So you just got to be careful and must be mindful.
Right. So, absolutely. Yes, you're absolutely right about that. So just want to keep you guys abreast to things, even though the numbers may trending down and that type of thing. COVID is still very much real. Los Angeles are still not letting their children go back to school. Philadelphia is still not letting their children go back. There was a report today done on places that have let their children go back into schools and how things have been going. But we've got to monitor these situations. We really do.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right. All right. Well, with that being said, this coming Saturday night is the premiere of the Wendy Williams story, and it will be on Lifetime television. And so, Kay Renee, I'm trying to figure out: are you excited about the Wendy Williams story? Are you a big fan of Miss Wendy? Because, honey, she can be messy. She can be messy.
I'm proud of the accomplishments of Wendy Williams. I happened to see her do the interview with The View with Whoopi and the rest of the women. And it seems as if she's in a better place. But, you're right. She can be very, very messy. And I think we talk about sociopathy, and, you were just talking with Adele Givens. The fact that who she dealt with, who she was married to, probably was at that level. And see, I'm gonna tell you, when you're dealing with a sociopath, you get a little cray yourself. And
absolutely.
I think she's at a better place. I'm hoping that she is. I've not necessarily been a fan of Wendy, but I'm proud of the accomplishments that she has done. Being in this business can be a very scary and ruthless business. You know this personally. So for her to still maintain who she is, I'm proud of that. But, am I going to see the movie? I probably will see the documentary more so than the movie. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about it next week after all the hubbub and everybody commenting on social media and all that great stuff. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, or if you've been hanging out a while, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this wonderful Thursday evening. My amazing co-host is this beautiful woman next to me, Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets. Karen made her way. Look, a woman who wants a good man does what's necessary. She made herself the permanent co-host, you all, and that works. You know what I'm saying? So when she's not here is when we get guest co-hosts to sit in and fill in. And the one thing I must say, I've had amazing women in my life. And our next guest is one of those women who is amazing. She told me to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep your ass moving. And she pretty much said it that way. She probably said it a little bit more with essence and flair, but the way I got it was the way she said it. She was our original co-host here for the Real Chat Daddy show. She's a very, very powerful businesswoman. We just love and adore her. We really, really do. She is the creator and founder and safety educator for JMD Defense LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our girl, the amazing Miss Javondlynn. Yes.
Yes. Hey. Hey, K. Renee. I love what you said about Wendy Williams. You just said exactly what I would have said and what I was thinking. So that's all. But thanks, Art, for the introduction.
Yeah.
And thank you, Javondlynn, for encouraging this man to do what he does best. I just want to tell you that. And, you know, I'm just very proud of you. I had a chance to read up on you because, see, you a bad lady. And see, I'm gonna let the viewers know. Don't mess with Miss Javondlynn now.
Do not.
I tell people when you smile, especially Black women, I say it all the time. Please don't let the smile fool you. So I will say this with Miss Javondlynn. Don't let her smile fool you. Okay?
Right. A beautiful smile at that, but don't let it fool you.
Don't let it fool you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You all are too funny.
Yeah, well, it is so good to see you, my friend. You look amazing. Look, the pandemic been good. The skin is right. The teeth. Look, right. Like you look. What's been going on, my friend? You look great. Really do, Javondlynn.
Thank you.
Yes. So, as we all know, Chicago has been at a tipping point with these carjackings. If I'm not mistaken, 161 just this month. On my timeline now on social media, all I'm seeing and hearing is carjackings. My neighbor, my friend, my mother, my aunt. It is also in the suburban surrounding areas. Javondlynn, you monitor these type of things quite a bit. You are really a vigilante for us all in this city of commenting on what's going on. What are we faced with right now with all these carjackings?
Well, you know, last week the city had a town hall, and I listened in for a couple of hours, but I really wanted to hear from the policemen. The aldermen, I think, are late to the game, and were pushed by the community to get ahead of this, but they're behind it. And so when I was listening to the police sergeant, the chief of detectives and one of the police sergeants talked about two things: the age of the offenders, and then the other one talked about how brazen they are, and he was concerned because they're not just, you know, brandishing a gun and threatening you and saying get out the car. They're now becoming much more violent. So things have taken a very dangerous turn because they're popping up all throughout the day at nighttime. There's no predictability. And I could tell from the two police officials that they really don't know what to do at this point. There was a lady there from the Cook County Juvenile Court, and she talked about the various programs that they have, some diversion programs and different things. I think that people are scared to incarcerate these young kids because a lot of them are 14 and 15 and 16. And I don't think they know what to do. I left the town hall and logged off saying, I think we have to look out for ourselves because I don't think the police can do it. I really don't know what's going on, to be honest, other than the kids are not in school.
Yes, ma'am. And you took the words right out of my mouth that they need to be back in school. When we were coming up, it was all about the truancy officer, accountability. The biggest excuse now: no Wi-Fi, bad Wi-Fi, no laptop to join school on, and because anybody who has posted about their experience of getting carjacked in our city has said it was a young child that they really wanted to grab them and spank their behinds, because you know damn well you shouldn't be out here robbing somebody. Most people said they were 13, 14, and 12, whatever years old. They could tell. And so, it's a sad situation. But if you want to play a grown man's role, then you need to be treated like a grown man when it comes to the charges against you. And I believe throw the book at them. What you think, Kay Renee?
Oh, I thoroughly agree. And it's just really sad that it's, majority that look like us. That's the
if not
thing.
all. I haven't seen any white kids doing it in our community. So
that's
I'm just
my point. And I think, the fact that we're in this pandemic is definitely heightened because I think I heard it was 180 as of today that have been carjacked and robberies. And it's just, I was telling Art, I think it was if it wasn't yesterday, it was Tuesday. I had gotten a post from a young lady who said that she, saw a $20 bill on her windshield, back of her windshield. She stopped, and when she got it, they jacked her up. It's something that's common sense. Let that money fly. If it means your life, stay your butt in the car and keep it moving. So I don't know. You would think with the pandemic, Javondlynn, that people will be aware of their surroundings, and it seems like they're looking the other way, and that's a problem as well.
Well, I just think that people are not paying attention to the news. They're if you download some of these apps, the Citizen app is even better, I think, sometimes than the Ring app, because it really tells you right on the money what's happening. It can make you anxious, but I'd rather know what's going on around me, so I know, okay, this may be a hot area. Let me just redirect my route. I just think people are not paying attention to the news. It's depressing. It's scary. And unless somebody tells them, let's think about our friends that maybe live in the suburbs, but their family lives in the city. So they don't come into the city as much, and they don't hear about it. So they come into the city one time, and it's like la la land. They're not even realizing they need to be on alert. I've just never been so anxious driving with every car pulling up behind me or pulling up beside me. And I carry a gun all the time. I just have never been this anxious driving. And it's really frightening because you don't know what they're going to do.
I agree with you 100%. I am the male figure that rides with my female friends that need to go somewhere or may need me, and it allows me to get out, get air, all of that. And I usually, try to help them any way I can, sitting there as a man or driving or whatever the case may be. And I even said to a friend the other day, I said, well, see these dreadlocks, they think I'm one of them if we have a stoplight. So I'm sitting at the light, right? I'm looking and ducking and and we shouldn't even have to be living like this right now. I know somebody that was getting their groceries out of their car and got carjacked. The fools took the grocery, the car, their phone, purse, everything. And it's sad. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, one of our gun club ladies told her story last week to our club, and basically what she said is the guys followed her when she was taking her daughter to daycare, but she said she saw the two cars kind of communicating, but she didn't pay it. She knew something didn't seem right, and that's what we always talk about, is that intuition, discernment, when something doesn't feel right. And she said when she drove down, so they followed her. They saw her come out her house, I guess, put her daughter in the car, and they waited until she took her daughter into daycare and then carjacked her. So thank God the kids, whoever it was, had some sense of morals to not do, carjack her in front of someone else. But what I did hear is that most of these carjackings are when you're solo. There's not two people in the car. So that's the common denominator. And the other thing that happened is she didn't have her daughter, but she said when she got to her car, they blocked her in and they took her keys, they took her purse, and she didn't, I think from our class, she made a statement that we always say, separate your keys from your house keys. So they didn't have her house keys. But she said it was very well coordinated. And then she said they parked her car and parked it as if they were going to come back the next day to get the car. It was parked perfectly. And that's
What?
probably, yes, she said when they found a car about an hour later, because it was a high-end car and they were able to track it, it was parked perfectly. But they waited until she dropped her daughter off, but they followed her.
Wow, wow. Well, Javondlynn, you're here tonight to help us to just do some things. You know, every time I've always talked to you and done interviews with you, you've given us just solid advice of things that we need to be aware of. And so we are all ears of what you want to teach us to be aware of when it comes to all of these type of situations.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, some of the things, are, I just try to reiterate again. When we're leaving out of our house, we need to be looking around, because I did hear on the town hall that people have called the police and said that they see suspicious vehicles just sitting on blocks. So I heard about a story last week. A 73-year-old guy got carjacked, and it was like 2 in the morning. So what I believe they're doing is sitting in the car and they're kind of waiting. So I don't care about profiling, that's very controversial. But if I see more than 2 people in a car, I'm really on heightened alert. So when I come out the house, even though I have an attached garage, when I pull that that garage door up, I'm ready to go. Okay. So I'm not fiddling with anything. I'm not opening the garage door and then putting on my seatbelt. I'm ready to roll over anybody that's standing in front of me if they had a firearm or were trying to rob my car. I always back into my garage every single space whenever I'm out in a store, going to a store, wherever. I always back in, because I want to make sure that I have a quick exit if need be. When you're driving, always make sure that when you stop at a stoplight or you stop at a stop sign, that you have your car, you can see the tires of the car in front of you. That gives you enough space to pivot out if you have to, if something happened. One of the ladies in the gun club, or lady, I'm sorry, she's not in the gun club, she took my class. She posted on Facebook that she was in a Starbucks drive-through on 95th and Western, and it must be a hot spot over there, because she said she saw the 2 guys jump out the car. Thank God she wasn't on her phone. She was in the drive-through, and she had enough space to pivot out and get away from them, because they were about to carjack her. So when we're in drive-throughs, we need to have all eyes on every side, because we need to make sure, because you're boxed in, you're at a drive-through, and you don't want someone to try to carjack you when you're in a drive-through. One other thing that I just want to mention is, when you're driving, even in the daytime and even at night, you can look in the rearview mirror and see what this person is doing. So when I'm driving, even at nighttime, you can see, as long as they don't have the high beams on, you can see those individuals behind you. So if someone is behind me and it looks like, they're suspicious, and if they're watching me, and maybe another car drives up on the side, I'm going to probably try to go through that light, go through that stop sign or whatever. And if we draw the attention of the police, that's okay with me too. But one other thing, know where the police stations are. Have you ever noticed that these carjackings are not happening in Mount Greenwood, where police and firemen live? They're not happening in Westchester, where a lot of federal agents live, towards like Oak Brook and Oak Park. These individuals know the South Side. They know the West Side. They know how to maneuver the streets. So that's why they're doing these carjackings in our neighborhoods, because they know the getaways. And these chop shops are they, all they have to do is go to these chop shops. The police could just go there, do undercover detail, and they could see they're doing something with these cars. They're getting money from somewhere.
Wow.
One other thing I just want to mention, I've been doing this more so now, is I've dumbed down a purse. I don't even wear a crossbody bag. I've been just putting a wallet in my pocket with my keys and rolling out with the jacket, and that's it. Because if I'm carjacked, I want to jump out the car. If I have to, I certainly don't want to be grabbing for a purse. And if you do need to carry a purse, I always drive with my purse under my legs, because I don't want anything where I'm going to naturally try to grab it from the side or the back or whatever. So it's just a few little things that I do, but I've been going out more and more without a purse. And if you do carry a lot of bags and you're going in and out, have your one hand free, at least. If you got pepper spray, obviously, if you need to get to your firearm, if something rose to the occasion where you felt you needed to defend your life, because that's not always the case. You think you're going to outshoot somebody by pulling your gun, and you might wind up getting shot. So,
Okay, Renee, where are you at with all of this, my dear?
I wish I had a firearm. That's all, because that's one thing I don't. But I'd be very dangerous if I did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
once I do get one, Javondlynn, I'm coming to take your class. That's all I got to say.
Please do. Please do. And you know what? We try to tell people that just because you have a firearm, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to outshoot them or you're going to survive that carjacking. It's just that, like what happened with the police officer, she didn't have her gun on her body. And she might have been able to defend herself if they had shot at her or something. Who knows? But when you have a purse and you have your gun in your purse, you're defenseless. So what if they had come back and said, let's rob her, let's go kidnap her? She didn't have her gun. So police officers, and I can't speak for all of them. I just know that the last 3 years of my career, when I would go out in the field with my officers and I had my firearm on me, the gun is heavy. So their duty gun is really, really heavy.
Right.
And so what more than likely happens is they haven't purchased a smaller firearm that's a subcompact that is more along the lines of a carry gun that you would carry every day. And a lot of police women carry guns in a fanny pack or in their purse, and it is not a good tactic. I just go on the record saying that I just think it doesn't make sense. And I tell all of our gun club ladies, put your gun in your purse, you're defenseless, and it's reckless, personally.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And another thing that people need to remember to do is memorize your license plate, you guys. Please know your license plates and at least know 2 to 3 phone numbers that if somebody had to assist or help you, you would know these phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because keep in mind, we are so used to these bad boys now, and that if you were a victim, you wouldn't even know your child's phone number, your mate's phone number, any of those, that friend, any of that. So make sure you do that, as well as know what your license plate number is. And so, Javondlynn, I'm kind of curious, like, these OnStars and LoJacks and all of that, would they be able to shut the cars off or track the cars? How does that work?
Well, guess what? And I want to say something about the phone numbers before I talk about that, because one of the chief of detectives mentioned something that they're doing. So what I have in my car is 14 years old. So most new cars have it, where you have numbers where you can program them in, just push the button and it'll dial your friend or your family. So I decided that one of my numbers, I'm going to dial 911. So I programmed 911 in my car so that if there is a situation and I feel like somebody's following me or whatever, then I can push that button. So that goes right along the lines with what you're talking about with LoJack and OnStar. I believe there's something they can activate where they could call them and then they call the police. But I still feel better without the middleman by just pushing a button. So that's something I just did a few months ago. And I feel pretty secure in that. Instead of having another one of my friends' phone numbers, I can just push this number. Number two, the other thing I want to say about what the chief of detectives said is these kids, some of the cars have key fobs. And if you get too far away from the car shuts off. But guess what happened? They are jumping in the car with a computer and they're disabling the car with some kind of computer program. So I understand that there's a class action suit that people have filed against these car manufacturers because someone, I don't know if it's against car manufacturers or Amazon, but somebody has created a workaround. So that's now obsolete, that the kids know how to they're so smart. And I just wish that they would redirect this negative energy into something, because they're just brilliant with what they're doing. But
you know what?
It's unfortunate.
I agree with you 100%. I really do. I really do. I've met some amazing 21 to 30-year-olds recently that have just blown my mind with the things they know how to do. And it necessarily may not all be legal, but they know how to do some stuff that is just like, what? You got to be kidding me. And so you're right. So I don't know. I really don't know. Is there a particular time or date? Well, no, because the man got robbed overnight. I know somebody got carjacked at 7:45 in the morning.
Yep.
I mean, this is crazy.
So it's happening all day. And I think what we need to really stop and think about is who's really accountable for who lives in your house, right? So I say this, and I've been saying this for years. Somebody's giving them food, clothing, and shelter. Now they may be getting clothing through drug trade and their money, but they don't own apartments. I mean, they're not renting apartments. They don't own homes. They're sleeping somewhere, kissing grandma and mama and whoever throughout the day and night. And I think because the kids are not in school, which is a babysitting service for a lot of people, which we hate to say that. When kids are in school or supposed to be in school during the day, and you see kids out during the day, the police can immediately say, why are they not in school? But now we don't know why people are not in school, and nobody's really watching that. I mean, I'm sure the schools have some sense of responsibility up with everyone, but carjackings are happening all the time, all throughout the day. If you have the Citizen app, which I think is amazing, you will get notifications all throughout the day, and it's scary.
It
2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 7. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
And it's anywhere, but it's on the south side. They said they're on the south side and they're on the west side. And when K. Renee said about you, they look like us, they all look like us. I ain't seen any white kids or Latino kids over here carjacking us. They're terrorizing our community. So, someone posted earlier today on this Nextdoor app, which was the most asinine thing I could have heard. She said it was propaganda. And she's a news reporter or retired. I looked her up. I'm assuming it was her. I just couldn't even imagine that she would say that it's propaganda. I'm like, no, people are really getting killed and getting shot. What if you have a heart attack and somebody's trying to carjack you?
Right.
So anyway.
Right. Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because quite a few people are really believing that maybe these young people are being paid to do this and terrorize. And they're even saying, to bring our property value down, to empty our neighborhoods out. I mean, the theories that we've been hearing for a number of years, and I would hate to say that, I just think it's a bunch of badass kids that, like Debbie Green said, gang initiation, or they just don't have anything else to do, or somebody's paying them. But I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think people are paying them other than gang leaders or some older people that are getting some benefit out of the cars. But I think it's this conspiracy where they've said go into the Black community and and drive down the prices. When they do an appraisal on our house, they know how to appraise our house downward. So that's already being done through institutional racism. I just don't think it's no conspiracy for that. Our kids are out of control. The parents are not parenting them. I knew when my daughter was in this house, and I knew when she wasn't in this house. And I remember when I got sensors put on windows because of folks outside the house. And I said, if you ever think about coming back in, going out and coming back in, I got sensors on the windows.
Right.
And I had to laugh. I mean, I did it for security's sake, but I'm like, how do parents not know where their kids are?
Right.
And even during the day when you're at work, you should be checking and saying what you're doing. I mean, but that's the village, right? But you can't. That's the village.
Right. No, I'm with you 100%. You've said a mouthful, because I agree with you. You are absolutely right. These kids are out of control. People have allowed their children to get out of control. These community centers are no longer available to help mentor and nurture these kids. And it really is a hot mess ass situation. And really, something needs to be done right away. We're allowing teenagers to control our city right now. And I think it's the craziest thing ever.
It is.
Javondlynn, do us a favor. Please tell everybody how they can find you, follow you. You do a wonderful conceal and carry class, other things to help people stay safe. Go right ahead.
Thank you. My business is located at 1447 West 103rd Street, right on the outskirts of Beverly and Morgan Park. And my website is jmddefense.com. My Facebook page is JMD Defense LLC, and I'm on Instagram, JMD Defense LLC. And we have intro to firearms for people that are just starting out and I'm a little concerned or afraid of firearms. We have concealed carry. We have some continuing education classes as well. We teach you also how to purchase a firearm. So we have a whole host of services that you can find right on our website. And so I always appreciate this opportunity, Art, to come on and talk with your audience. And K. Renee, I don't know if Art even said this, but you look a lot like his mom, Jean.
Yes, that is true. That is true. That is, oh my God.
We
Oh,
do. I'm looking at the hair. He
yeah.
didn't
Oh my
probably tell you,
goodness.
but we grew up together. Our parents were firecrackers. They were
Yes.
community activists before we
Oh,
knew what that was.
Yes.
And
oh.
we were tight. We could not skip school, ditch school,
Nope.
none without them being up at that school knowing what we were doing.
That's
So
right.
we need some more Jeans and Patricias out
That's
here.
right. That's right. How is Patricia doing?
Patricia is doing great, bossy. So she's back from the hospital, bossy. She's
Okay.
great.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Well, make sure she get plenty of her ice cream that she loves.
I know. I will. I will. Kay
All right.
Renee, I hope to see you at some point whenever you're ready. And you don't need a FOI card. That's what I want to tell people to take
Okay.
class. You don't need it to take class. So we're a one-stop shop. We got everything that you need. Thanks
Yep.
so much, Art. You know, I love you like a brother.
You, my dear, I really, really do. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Javondlynn Dunagan, owner of JMD Defense LLC, here tonight to just try to keep us safe here in Chicago because it's a hot ass mess out there. All right, darling, we love you so much.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
later. All right, have a great night. Wow, what great.
Bye.
That was
Oh,
great.
yes. I'm, you know, when I do get my concealed carry, I'm going to be contacting Miss Javondlynn. Say I'm ready.
She is who will teach you your conceal and carry. She
That's
is
what I
amazing.
want.
She really is. Yes, we love Javondlynn. All right. Well, boy, Kay Renee, we've had a great show tonight. This has been really good. When
Yeah.
we come back on Monday night, Kay Renee will be here. I'm sure we'll have some other people that'll join us on Monday night. We'll try to get Kim Coleman to hang out with us to talk about the life and times of Miss Cicely Tyson, who died today at the age of 96. We are all just in shock right now. She lived a long and beautiful life. 96 is a good life, but we are all just devastated on the passing of Miss Cicely Tyson at 96. Coming up on Monday night, our good friend Dr. Janet Seabrook will be joining us. February is Heart Health Month, and we'll talk about the importance of keeping your heart healthy, as well as Dr. Seabrook will give us the latest update on the COVID-19 vaccine and people getting vaccinated. You know, she's over in Indiana, so she'll give us the numbers and all that for both states. And then on Monday, we kick off our Black History Month celebration. We have a wonderful scholar who will be joining us, and we're going to talk about the life of Annie Malone. Oftentimes, people talk about Madam C.J. Walker, but Miss Annie Malone came along way before Madam C.J. Walker. And remember, there was a little rift between them. So this scholar who will be joining us on Monday night will talk about the fact that Annie Malone was actually a successful entrepreneur, philanthropist, humanitarian, and a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Oh, wow.
So we will learn about Miss Annie Malone on Monday night as we kick off our Black History Month celebration. I have a lot of great shows planned for Black History Month. I do.
Good thing.
It is a good thing. It's a good thing. Yes, it is. So make sure you guys tune in Monday night. So, Kay Renee, how are you? What's going on? Let's talk a little bit. What's going on in your world, my dear?
You know, nothing's good. Just trying to, live one day at a time. And, you know, I'm not, you know, the older you get, when I was younger, I didn't mind snow. I don't like snow now. Now, although we've been blessed with the fact we have not had any major snowstorms up until this week, and we may have some lake effect snow this weekend. I'm just, because you remember now, in 67, the year I was born, this month, they had the most horrific snowstorm ever.
That's right.
Chicago.
That's right.
In January 67. And I know there have been some pictures on some of my Facebook friends' posts about what happened. Where were you in January 67 and seeing the photographs? Because I remember, I'm sure you may remember, 79 was another snowstorm in January.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm just, you know, I want to be somewhere warm, just nice. I could walk out, look at the beach, look at the ocean.
Yeah.
This snow stuff for me is for the birds.
I agree. You know, that's the way I feel. And, you know, I'm trying to do whatever I can to make that transition to somewhere warmer as well, too. I figure, you know, no matter what's going on in your life, warm weather makes it feel better. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. You can be a bum in warm weather. Because
Yes,
guess
you
what?
can.
Your opportunities are big and are greater because you ain't talking about, damn, I'm cold. Damn, why I'm asleep tonight?
You,
Oh, I
you
need
know,
another blanket. All that. Yeah,
it's
no.
funny you mentioned that because when I was in Hawaii, and this is only when Barack was sworn in the first time, I was in Hawaii doing an audit, and I didn't realize the homeless population was just extensive. But them
Yeah.
homeless people were just as happy as out of what, because guess what? They were outside.
Yes. You in just wonderful weather, great temperatures. Look, I am gonna reinvent all of this and do something different because yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm sick of cold weather. I really am. I've done enough. All right. Well, we're gonna continue on. Make sure you guys join us Monday night. Great show. We're gonna kick off Black History Month with just a lot of wonderful information. Well, it is Relationship Thursday. Yay! It's our Friday, but it's Relationship Thursday. We love Relationship Thursday. And for the past 2 weeks, we've had some of the most incredible people come talk to us on Relationship Thursday. 2 weeks ago, our good friend, Mr. Leon Walker, stopped by. Leon is not only a knowledgeable man, he is just a man that tells it like it is. Leon has really become my brother now from another mother and mister. But I just appreciate men that are honest. I don't care who you are. Just be honest, tell it like it is, and whether it hurts or not, it is what it is, but at least it was the truth. And then last week, we had the pleasure of hanging out with relationship practitioner and astrology practitioner, the one and only Miss Xavier Fox. And Xavier actually made me push my wedding date back a year because she told me that in November, Scorpios in November, we was going to be doing a lot of cussing and fighting. And so I had to push that wedding date back just to keep from cussing and fighting. I wanted to be love, happiness, and good energy. And so I thought the conversation that we would have tonight is just about meeting people, just about online dating. How do we get to know people? What are turn-ons, turn-off? So I have a plethora of things that I think we can all talk about. Kay Renee has an alter ego by the name of Raquel. So, hey, Renee, explain who Raquel is just a little bit.
Oh, goodness. Well, actually, Raquel Logan Summers is my alter ego. When I first wrote my book, DDW Would Frustrate Women Most. And it's interesting. I like Raquel. Raquel comes out when she feels like it. But primarily, in this day and age, a lot of people, especially talk about sexuality and sensuality, they just think it's a bad thing. Raquel will tell you there's nothing wrong with that. And so I just kind of like tune into Raquel and let people, especially men, know, we're in a whole different time. Raquel's not the type of a woman that just is very timid. She's very bold in what she wants. So that's who Raquel is. Raquel just loves to write and flirt and just do all kind of just nice things. But she's also very, very honest. Sometimes
I love it. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're just going to talk about a plethora of things. So joining us for our conversation for Relationship Thursday is our girl, the amazing Miss Xavier Fox.
Hey, Miss Xavier.
I'm so glad to be back. I can't wait for this conversation. I love those.
Yes. And last but not least is my good brother, the one and only Mr. Leon Walker, who is really the man who's all about telling it like it is. Hello, brother.
Hey.
Hey, Renee, what's up? How you doing, Miss Fox?
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, I'm so glad to have everybody here tonight. I feel like we are all a family. The only thing we missing are plates of appetizers and a few drinks, but that's okay. I think we all at home and got what we need.
Drink.
Yes. Leon, how you doing this evening, brother?
I'm good. I already got my tea. I got my little dog and doing some writing and here with y'all. So I keep it real simple, Art. I'm happy.
Very good. And Xavier, how you doing tonight?
I am great. I am in Milwaukee tonight, and my youngest daughter's downstairs cooking, so I will have appetizers and stuff real soon.
Oh, very good. All right, very good. Well, tonight I want to talk about the fact that there are just a lot of little basic, simple things that people do that keep them from actually really meeting somebody who could possibly be the person of their dreams. Recently, I had several people, male and female, say to me that they went online, they created profiles, that people started contacting them. They thought it was great, but they thought that the people actually lacked conversational skills. And so for the women, I said, well, okay, I kind of get that. A lot of times guys are limited on skills or they don't know what to say. But then I've actually heard guys say that a lot of women are limited on skills when it comes to talking. And so how do we even get the conversation going when we're talking with somebody online? Who wants to start that first?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So online is really a different kind of animal because first of all, you have so many people who have different communication styles. You have people who really like to text. For instance, myself. So I'm single right now, and well, I was on the dating site. I'm not. They kicked me off for whatever reason. I think I didn't respond. But anyway.
Oh, honey, we have to talk about that. That's a mess. What did you do? Right. Okay.
That might be the problem. But anyway,
right.
So I first like to have a conversation on the site because for me, there's no reason to give you my number or any of that stuff if we can't get a basic conversation back and forth just going like that. And so that is my communication style. That doesn't mean that my communication style is going to suit everyone. So therein lies the issue. There are some people, I had guys on there that they just showed up and sent their phone number right off. I don't know who you are. I'm not going to call you. I don't know. I'm self-employed too. So then there's that part. So people have different communication styles and people have different things going on in life. And I think we're just kind of missing each other on that. I like to get to know a person a little bit, at least get a conversation going online first. And a lot of people fall off and then they'll say, well, she didn't have any conversation. Now, Art, you've known me for many years, so I have a whole lot of conversation.
Yes, you do. Yes.
However, I need you to have a conversation with me. I need you to be able to spark up something online because it is called online dating for a reason, because we're online. Okay. So let's start there, get a conversation going. And if you're interesting enough, then I will give you my number because then I know I want to talk to you. But I don't want you sitting there taking up my time and you really have nothing to say. We have nothing in common. We can vet all of that out online. So I think the problem is not so much that people don't have conversation. It's just that we have different communication, the way that we communicate. I think those things is what's different.
Leon, I know you're ready to go ahead and tackle that. Men do communicate differently than women. You are a gentleman you're all about your words, your feelings, your emotions. Do you find women not to be great communicators, or are they excellent communicators?
No, women are excellent communicators. The thing is that it depends on the website that you're in, the dating site that you're on. A lot of men are going on there and they're looking for sex, right? And so they'll read your profile, and as soon as they see looking for long-term relationships, we out of there. We going on to the next one. So women are very good communicators. A lot of men don't like to talk a lot. I'm one of those guys that like to talk. I like to communicate. I don't like taking turns talking. I say something, you say something. I like dialogue. I like us to get to know each other, understand each other. I'm not saying I'm a perfect guy or a perfect gentleman at all, because I've been on those dating sites. It's been years. And you get on there. If you say, for instance, on Plenty of Fish, I've been on Plenty of Fish, and I was like looking through there. I'm like, well, these women are just like me. So I mean, sexually it'd have been cool, but if I'm looking for a relationship, that was the wrong place to be, because I met some really strange women on there, and it was kind of spooky. And I'm like, nah, this ain't the place for me. It depends on, and that's what I talk about in my book, seasons. It depends on the season that you're in. If you're in a season and you're coming off of a relationship or a divorce, or you just had you just lost a child, or whatever the case may be, your season is not really dating. You want to be healed. You want to talk to somebody that understands what it's like to come out of a broken relationship. Now his season, he may just be coming out a bit divorced. His child support just started. He may just have got out of jail, all kind of things. So you got to talk about the seasons that you're going into and the seasons that you're coming out of. A lot of us don't do that. I make it a habit for myself to do that when I'm talking to women. You know, this is my season. What's your season? A lot of times women are like, oh, well, you know, or men are like, I don't know what, you know, I'm coming out of football season. No.
Yep.
Yep. So
Yep. No, he's right. He's right.
He's on point.
Yep, he's on point. He is. Absolutely.
And those are the things that you find out if you can start a conversation online. That's why I like to start a conversation online. You know, what's going on with you? If you are in a season where you just want to, you know, hook up for sex, I'm never really in that season. If you catch me in that season, you really got lucky on that one. But if you're in that season, I want to know that you're in that season. That's cool that's where you're at. That's not where I'm at. So you need to, that's why people need to have a conversation to see if you even need to get on the phone. If you get on the phone and he's talking about, yeah, why don't you come over to my house? And I'm not coming to your house. So we're wasting time at this point. So, you know, communication style. You know, start that conversation online. People need to be more open to starting a conversation online before you exchange numbers and go out on that first meet and greet. If you have absolutely nothing in common, what is the purpose of that? If you're not in the same season, like he said, what's the purpose? And you won't find that out if you don't start a conversation online.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Kay Renee, where are you at with all of this?
I'm in full agreement because I, like Leon, I've dated on POF, as they call it, our time. And I've asked questions first. You know, sometimes the man is very eager to get my number. I said, hold up, boo. We're not talking numbers yet. I need to get some comfort before I even give out my number. And I will admit this, when I was doing my online date, I had two phones. So one was the true business phone, and the other was I call the Google phone. So those folks who get on my nerves, they get that number, then we can have a conversation. But before they even got to that, I would ask certain questions online. And if they couldn't answer, then that let me know that's that level of discernment that all of us have. It's like, okay, as Leon said, you're in a different season I am, so I have to keep it moving. But you know, I truly believe that all of us, we have different communication styles. But if we're going to do this online, now that we're in COVID, you got to ask those questions. And you have to be open, because a lot of men and women, they don't want to be open. They want to have this fantasy. Well, we're in reality. We've done fantasy comes when you're your little boy or girl. We've grown now, so you got to be real about who you want and what you want.
Right.
So,
and how you want it. And how you want it. That's and how you want it. Right. And how you want it.
Right.
How do you want it?
Yes. Amen. All right. So Debbie Green has a comment that I think is interesting. Debbie says, sometimes I will be quiet to see how comfortable he or she is with silence. Talking too much bores me. Now, I get you on that too. I do. But I also need for you to be able to tell me things that I need to know. I recently kind of started chit-chatting with two people. One person I talked to via the telephone, great conversation. It gave me a better sense. The other person, their profile scared the hell out of me because they told too much in their profile, to the point that when they hit me up, I said, wait a minute, are you okay? Like literally, are you all right? And they said, oh, wow, nobody has ever really asked me, was I all right? You know, they kind of explained that they had been in a long-term relationship, that the relationship ended. Now they trying to get themselves together physically, mentally, spiritually. And really, they was just looking for the booty to get waxed and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, are you okay? Because keep in mind, we in the middle of a pandemic. And you still thinking in this mindset. This is a perfect time for your mindset to change. What do you think about that? What if a woman said that to you, Leon, too? And just like she said, is too quiet scary?
Yeah, so I would be like, you know, what's wrong with you? Because like I said, I like to talk, Art. I don't over talk. I'm not overbearing, you know, I'm overachieving, but I like, you got to talk to me. I want to know what's going on, because if you're too quiet, it means a couple of things. It could mean a couple of things. In my mind, it's like you were either abused, you got beat, you were told to shut up, you put in the corner with the dunce cap on your head. And so you've been trained, you've been conditioned not to talk to people, or you've been conditioned to take a back seat in a relationship. I don't want a woman to take a back seat in a relationship with me. I want her to be up forward with me, or even in some cases lead me. So being too quiet, it doesn't fit well with me. So we're gonna have to talk about that in the beginning, you know. And she's gonna have to open up, because it's like, are you hiding something? Are you ashamed? Do you have low self-esteem, no confidence? Because apparently you said something to a guy before, or 5 years ago, 2 years ago, and you got shut down, or you were embarrassed because, you know, he didn't like what you said, or he looked at you like you couldn't change because you low self-esteem, low confidence. No, I want you to talk to me. Don't sit there and test me. That's another thing men don't like. Don't put us through a test. Don't say, well, I'm gonna sit and be quiet and see what he does. Sometimes that's needed, but not all the time. But no, we got to talk. We got to communicate, because there ain't nothing like a boring date. No, the food get cold. You know, you thinking about something else, looking at the no, we gonna talk that night.
Right. I agree. Because to me, talking is stimulus. A great conversation nowadays is so erotic to me. And I'm talking about a conversation from sports to history to what's going on in the world. To me, I think I'm at a certain age now where you got to bring more to the table than just a good time. Xavier, what do you feel about that?
Oh, well, you know, I am what they call a sapiosexual, so I've always been into conversation.
Wait. Girl, use a what? You wait now. Use a what?
A sapiosexual. I am stimulated by intellectual conversation. Actually, that it's a sexual thing. You know, if
I'm gonna put that on my resume. I'm gonna put that out there on my resume. You know, like you have to do pronouns now. I'm gonna put that out there. Go ahead, finish.
Yes, I love a good conversation. That's the only way. That is the only way that you're going to get and hold my attention, is if you have some conversation. But I also wanted to say, Leon, is that his name?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he said something about, you guys hate tests or whatever. But I think men are the masters of testing women to see why the woman is there, or see what she's willing to go for, or how far she's willing to go. I found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, that depends on what he's looking for, right? If he's looking for sex, you're gonna see if he can test her with the conversation. If it's a sexual conversation, she opens up to it. Yeah, I'm not saying we don't test, or we don't, overall like to be tested, but it's certain ways to do that. It's like, like the lady said, she's quiet the first hour or two, or however long she says she's gonna be quiet. But sometimes those tests can be quite painful and can be a turnoff.
Yeah, those tests can be a turnoff. And especially once you get, if you're a woman over 40, because you've gone through these tests, and so you see them and you already know that you're being tested. And so, I think that is one of the issues with relationships, is that we keep going over the same stuff that didn't work. It's not working. Clearly it's not working, and we keep doing the same thing. So I think that everybody should drop the test. They should heal first, and then we can move forward and get into some positive relationships, moving forward.
Interesting. Leon, when you were on with us 2 weeks ago, you gave women advice on things that they can do to better have relationships with guys, to understand guys better. Both of these ladies right here are just incredible women, but I think they both deserve loving relationships. Let's reiterate some of your advice you gave the women last week.
A lot of men and a lot of women, let's talk about women first. A lot of this fake stuff, a lot of this extra foundation. I'm okay with the lace fronts and even a nice wig. But a lot of women put on a lot of extra makeup, and then at the end of the night or the next day or the next time we see you, look different. Like these eyelashes that these young girls are wearing, and older women, not older, but middle-aged women, these eyelashes, they're big. They're like too big. I'm looking at them like, what the hell is this? I'm a dude. I like natural, right? I like natural hairstyle, short hairstyle, long. I don't want, if you're wearing a wig, right? Cool. Keep looking healthy and sexy. I don't want your wig to smell like you just left your aunt's kitchen. I don't want to smell sulfate. I don't want to smell any of that. But the thing is about women, make sure that when you're meeting a guy, a lot of women give up too much too soon. And I think, Art, you mentioned that as far as on the websites and your profile. But a lot of women give up too much too soon. A lot of women are seem they seem desperate, and we can hear it in their voice. You know, some women have mastered it where they don't give up too much too soon. They want to, but they're real calm and collective and at dinner or lunch or whatever, and in the conversation, they may be feeling different internally. They may be turned on, but they won't show them, which is a good thing. Because once you give up too much too soon, especially the physical part, there's nothing else for us that's going to challenge us. There's nothing else for us to look for. Unless it's a man that's sapiosexual like myself, they want to be stimulated mentally, because I know women like to be stimulated mentally. I do too. I don't want just a bare, dry conversation. Another thing, don't talk about your ex-boyfriends or husbands. Don't talk about their sex life, your sex life with him. Don't ever bring it up. A lot of women do that, and again, that's another test that they do for these men to see if he gonna shut down or if he can measure up in that conversation. A lot of men can be intimidated by your ex. If you, especially, depends on what you're talking about. But make sure that you don't seem needy. Make sure you communicate when you're talking on a date. Don't over talk, man. I always talk about this because a lot of times people over talk the other person. Let's say women over talk the man. It could be because his conversation is boring, it's not stimulating enough, or she's in a hurry to get her answers out. But one of the main things is that don't seem desperate, and don't seem like you're gonna always need him for men we should compliment you all, yes, but a lot of times some women need that all the time for reassuring confidence, or they have a low self-esteem or no confidence at all. So being casual in a relationship, not pushing things too far. Don't expect a lot of things from a man in the beginning. You have to get to know him and let things flow naturally.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, please.
So I have this question. I want to ask it of Leon. So men always say that women are so hard to understand. And I tell women all the time that that's bull, because men play women like fiddles. So why do men say that women are so hard to understand when you got, like you just ran off all of that stuff? When we sound desperate, all when you're needy, all of that stuff. So why do men say that women are so hard to understand when you guys like have a playbook on women? You just flip through, oh yeah, she's this kind of woman, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they say that they're hard to understand because we're thinking about something totally different. We're not thinking about we're not thinking about long term. We're not thinking about 2-3 years from now. We're not thinking about getting engaged. We're thinking about tonight. And then when you don't open up to tonight or possibly 2-3 days from now to have sex, it's like, she's hard to understand. She's being difficult. No, if you come into the relationship, that's why I tell a lot of young men, don't hold a conversation with a woman and you have sex on your mind, because if you do, it's eventually going to come out. You want to talk about, her past, if she gives you however much of her past she gives you. You want to talk about her goals, her plans, her future, things like that. But you want to have a good conversation. Women, to me, are not difficult. They're only difficult when you feel like you're not getting what you want out of her.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Now, ladies, I got to put this comment up here, and I want to see if you ladies feel the same way. Our faithful viewer, and she joins us every night, Miss Debbie Green. She said it. Leon, he's chauvinistic. Now, do you ladies think he's chauvinistic? I don't think he. What do you all think?
I haven't picked up on chauvinistic at this point, so I'm not sure.
No, I think Leon is telling it like it is from his perspective. I think there are men who like to test women, who like to see whatever they can get. But I don't think he's chauvinistic. He's just he's basing upon his experience.
That's right.
And it's like, I'm not talking about the Leon right now. I'm talking about the Leon 10 years ago, young lady. What's her name, Art?
Debbie Green, our good friend. She watches every night.
Debbie, I'm talking about the Leon of 10 years ago. I'm talking about my male friends of 10 years ago. I'm not talking about the Leon now. Now, had you called me chauvinistic 10 years ago, you might have a point there. But at the same time, I'm a giver. I'm not selfish. I'm not stingy. I'm not controlling. I'm not over the top. I'm a listener. I'm fair. So she don't know that guy. Like, I've been divorced for almost 12 years now. And if my wife was to come on here, she wouldn't know this guy now, but she would understand me. So no, chauvinistic, not at all. The thing about it, I don't believe in men you know, it being a man's world. I don't believe that the men should do everything, or women shouldn't do certain jobs. I believe in equality 100%. So being chauvinistic can't be any further from the truth of me. I'll tell you that much right now.
I think you might need to ask Debbie what's her definition of chauvinism, because
or what triggered her to say that.
Right. Yeah. Because you know, we all come to the table from different experiences. So I'm not sure what Debbie has been through or any of that kind of stuff, but possibly whatever it is that triggered her to say that, you know, that might be a trigger. That may be something that she might need to heal from. You know,
she sent us a okay, Debbie, we not picking on you, love. That was a great conversation though, to help feed with the conversation. But she said okay, so she good with it now, you know.
Yeah, I understand why she felt the way. I could say some things like, you know, I'm talking about, and so my female friends like, Leon, stop saying you're not talking about nobody, but stop saying you talk about yourself. But I have to do that because of a situation like that. People are like, well, who is this guy? Chauvinistic, you know, he's controlling, or he's a woman beater, or I've never been that type of dude. The thing about it is, when I was molested and raped as a child, right, by women, and a man used to touch me, right, I could have went in any direction. I could have been gay, right? Nothing. And I got love for
men. Right.
I went into the other extreme where I fell in love with women. I lusted for women, right? And then, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, my mother left me, so I'm like, oh shoot, these women molested me. My mother left me. I ain't gonna love nobody. That ain't gonna happen. But at the same time, I was battling my morals because I love women. I'm a good kid. I have a lot to offer. I had a lot to offer. So it was a struggle for me. But at the same time, the thing that I didn't want to face again was being left or hurt by another woman. So I kind of shut down. But at the same time, inside, I knew my internal compass was on, and my external moral compass was on as well. And so my thing was, it went from lusting after women to loving women to studying women to hurting women to, oh, this is not right. Every time I broke up with somebody or cheated or lied, I felt horrible. I was being a fake person in a relationship for a long time, and I knew that wasn't me. So no, I'm not. I'm far removed from being chauvinistic. More into chivalry. I'll tell you that much. If you want the C word,
yes,
you have really interesting background. That's a lot.
Oh, he does. He does.
It is.
Okay,
and the thing about it, though, what I have always respected about Leon, he has been very open and honest, and he's healed from it. And I think the key is, when you're going out doing online dating, you better make sure that your baggage is healed, because you can't go into any relationship. I don't care. It's online, yapping on the phone, meeting for a social distance coffee break. You better make damn sure that you are healed first. Yeah. Before you can have conversation with anybody else.
Exactly. And that's one of my main points, because I actually am a certified coach. I was trained to coach. I don't just give advice. So I was trained in healing. And that is the key point in a successful relationship, because too often, you know, there was this saying, how's it go? To get over one, you get under another. And that is like the worst thing that you could possibly do. You really do need to take that time and look back at that relationship. And you have to get far enough out of the relationship to be able to look back at it and say, okay, I see the red flags that I knew I saw them then, but I chose to ignore those red flags. And then you need to ask yourself, why did I ignore those red flags? And when you start to ask yourself why you ignore stuff, when you had a gut feeling at some point that this relationship was going downhill, or it wasn't going the way you wanted it to go, you had that gut feeling, but you said, I'm gonna stay anyway because. So why is it that you chose to stay? That is where your healing point is. You know, is it that you need to be loved? You have such a deep desire to be loved that you're gonna put up with anything just so that you can be loved. You need attention. You need approval. You know, you have abandonment issues. You're still trying to make up with your dad or your mom because they left because of whatever. There's so many things that we need to heal from first before we can get into a healthy relationship. You know, we need to look at those things. So healing is really what we all need to do, because we have so many divorces and cheating and manipulation. Is so much stuff that we have going on in this world. So we all really need to look at healing, and you actually need help to heal.
You do. Like Kay Renee said, when if you're not healed, for me, right? When I started getting on POF and somebody recommended to me, I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't healed, so I was open to the things that I was doing as a child, or the things that I was thinking about as a child, the porn that I was addicted to. I was thinking about, even as a young man being in the military, I always think about these fantasies. So I wasn't healed. So going into this website, POF, I met this lady and she liked the bondage and S&M. So the fact that I wasn't healed, I'm like, tie me up or me tie you up, cool, I'm down. I had never done it before, but I was still open to those types of weird, crazy, not weird, crazy for some people, but extreme. Now I have an extreme personality, so when she talked about bondage and S&M, I'm like, I'm down for it because it clicked, it registered with me, resonated with me too, resonated. And so I'm like, wow. So I had that struggle. I had a monogamous heart, but a promiscuous mindset. So I was all over the place. But now that I'm healed, I won't even think about stuff like that,
POF kicked me off. I don't even know why. So
wait, what is Plenty of Fish? Okay.
POF, yeah.
Because I was like, now wait a minute, how did bondage get in there? And how did okay.
And Plenty of Fish guises themselves as being a healthy relationship. It's just like any other sex, like Adult Friend Finder, any fetish website, that that's all they think about is that. Because again, if you're coming in that mindset, as Leon said, having monogamous heart but promiscuous mind, that's what you're going to attract.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Well, the thing about the promiscuity is not so much that people really just want to be promiscuous, but a lot of people do not want to be emotionally involved, because once you get emotionally involved, that opens you up to hurt. And
that's true.
a lot of us have been hurt so much until you don't want that anymore. So you just tell yourself, I'm just going to have sex and I'm just going to enjoy my life. So the promiscuity is really, when you find somebody that's really at that point, oftentimes it's because they're protecting their heart. They just don't want to be hurt.
And I was, because I was like very risky, and I'm like, I got lucky, not to get some things that you have for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, I was sealing my heart, but at the same time, physically, I was wide the hell open. And then, my healthy, I'm very healthy now. I was healthy then. I was fortunate because God had me, for whatever reason. I didn't get into anything really bad, but yeah, I sealed my heart off. So my thing was, I'm gonna like you. I'm gonna like the heck out of you, but I ain't gonna love you. We can have sex, but my feelings were shut down. I got really good at doing that. And so I
been married 2 and 3 times. So, a lot of people are definitely shut down, especially if over 40, especially in the over 50. You have people that are definitely shut down because they've had 2 or 3 husbands or wives, and they've had, just a lot of stuff going on. So we are definitely a society that needs to heal, and most people don't know how to do that.
Right.
Okay, Renee, what do you want to say to our guest? What have you taken away from all of this tonight? You've given some great points, but they both have been really good. What else you want to take away from this?
I'm just really glad that we're having this conversation, because there was a time that you could not have a conversation like this. And it's really good to have Xavier and Leon just really be honest and authentic. The thing that I've taken, as I said, for me personally, I've been there, done that as far as online dating. And for me, I needed to heal. So now that I'm still in that healing process, because like Leon, I've been happily divorced for almost 13 years. I've dated, but not really have given my heart because of everything I've gone through. But I'm grateful. I can honestly say that. So when you're honest and open, you can look in the mirror and say, hey, you need some healing. That's when I think when true love and authentic and unconditional love can appear. So I just really I'm so grateful to you, Art, to have this conversation, this adult conversation, this authentic conversation about relationships, about everything that goes in it. But the main thing that a lot of people need to realize, communication starts with you personally. Once you're able to communicate and once you're able to be authentic with you, that's when the attraction of the person that you want will come into your life. So
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't.
Love yourself.
You have to. You have to.
Right.
You know what, Art? A lot of times people miss out on, and I miss this, and we talked about this on the last show. A lot of people don't know their love languages, right? And a lot of, like, I get these questions, Leon, I'm giving to this guy, and he's blah 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 blah. And I said the key word is you giving. What are you getting from him? Nothing, not much. So, and I told her your love language is acts of service, and his love language is like taking service. Right. So, like, make relationship mismatch. I said you got relationship mismatch, which I learned in a leadership school in 2004. we were talking about jobs in the military, but relationship mismatch exists too. You could be the right person with the wrong person, and
That's
that
right.
guy or one will drain the heck out of you. So some people know not give and take is give and receive. Some people don't know how to give, but they know how to take. A lot of women know how to give, and men too. And some people just know how to take. There's no reciprocity there, and so you're being drained because you go into this relationship and you're emotional and you're hurting because the last guy did whatever to you. Now you're looking for this guy. He got just a little more than the last guy, so you like this is better. Now he's probably just as bad as the other one.
You know, thing about love language, because again, we're told. So I'm into mindsets, of course, because your mindset is what you manifest. But the thing what we were told is to love as you would want to be loved, but that is not exactly it. What you have to do is love someone the way that they recognize being loved. Because I am an acts of service person, but I've had people who were quality time people. They just wanted to be around me. But I need acts of service. So if you're not doing something, if you think that telling me I'm beautiful or giving me compliments, that does not mean, that's lip service to me.
Right.
I need to come, the garbage is sitting in there and I need you to take that out.
Right.
I need something. That's how I recognize love.
Girl, it sounds like you need a housekeeper, honey. That's what that sounds like.
Okay, well, go fill up my gas tank. Or I need you to do. That is how I recognize love. But someone who is a words of affirmation type person, they may want me to tell them, oh, you're great, and I really appreciate when you do this, and they need those words. So you have to love people the way that they recognize it, and the only way that you learn that stuff is by having those conversations. And like we started out this conversation, some of those conversations start online if you're doing online dating. But again, I kicked off a POF, so I don't know.
Oh my God. Everything that each one of you have said, the funniest thing is we are all from different backgrounds, lifestyles, everything. And I think the problem is just across the board. My situations are no different than your situations. Males, Leon and I associate as men and the problems that you face. Ladies, the same situation. Going forward, we do have a question. Booker T has a question. He says that let's see what the question says. For Xavier, you spoke on all the things you need to feel love. What do you give to show love? Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
So any of my male friends who have been around me when I'm in a relationship, including Art, who's been around me when I'm in a relationship.
Yes.
I totally cater to my man. I'm definitely a giver. But because I am a certified life coach and I'm very well aware of the love languages, I do know that I need to give according to how he receives it. So whatever it is that he needs in order to feel my appreciation and my love for him, then that's what I'm going to give to him.
Giving him something he can feel. Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's what I think that is. That's what I think that is. Now, I could be wrong. That's just in my book.
Feel too,
Yes. Well, going forward, for people who are really trying to meet somebody, I really do think 2021 is the year of new relationships, new direction. I do know several people that got married in 2020 during a pandemic now. So I'm just trying to figure out, what can we do to encourage people to continue to find love and hope? Xavier, I'm gonna start with you first. Well, what would you, in closing, want to tell people they can do to continue to find love?
Well, first of all, just don't give up on it. Don't give up on love. Secondly, to make sure that you are healed. I think one of the most important things in actually adding someone to your life is to find happiness in your own life. You first have to create a life that you want to live. You have to be happy with the life that you want to live, because nobody else can come in and make your life happy. That's not how that works. That's a whole lot of responsibility to put on someone else. You need to find that happiness and peace within yourself, and then someone else can come and add to that. So don't give up on love. Make sure that you are healed. Make sure that you look back on your last relationship or your last 2 relationships and find out why you stayed past that point where you knew that it was going downhill. A lot of our issues start with our childhood stuff. It starts with our parents, which is our first love affair with our parents. They're the first ones who cared for us. They're the first ones who loved us. They're the first ones that we may or may not have saw love, period. You know, we learned love from our parents, or we didn't learn love from our parents. So make sure that you have come to peace with those things, because otherwise you carry that on. Like I said earlier, you're still trying to make up with your mother or make up with your father. You know, you have your abandonment issues, your need for love, your need for acceptance. So make sure that you have healed. Don't give up on love. And you know, if you don't get kicked off the dating sites, I think the dating sites are a great deal, because they're just an option to expand your horizons. It gives you more options. You know, people that you won't meet in the grocery store, your mate may be in another state.
That is true. I believe that. I believe that. I really do. Leon, what do you want to tell people to keep them encouraged during their quest of finding love?
Okay, first of all, when you hear these bloggers and all of these YouTube people talking all this stuff, if they say, if a guy tells you you're a 4, right, don't take that to heart, because most of the times they're talking about your looks, your breasts, your butt, right? But you can be a 10 in listening. You could be a 10 in providing. You could be a 10 in helping. You could be a 10 in building your man up. You could be a 10 in supporting his kids or his career. There are a bunch of other things that you can be a 10 in. So don't get caught up in this. Oh, I'm just a 5. I want to look like Beyonce. You know, I've dated some beautiful women that were 10 on the outside and like a 2 on the inside. We're both 2s on the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another thing, there is hope. Don't lose hope. It's not over with, you know. And I tell women this all the time. The women always say, I want a guy that's 6'2", about 220, you know, wide back, nice shoulders, nice teeth, blah, 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 blah. But what kind of man want you? I said, I want you to sit here and put yourself in my predicament. Put yourself in my seat right now. Look from my point of view and look back at you. And what would you see in yourself that a man may like or he may not like? And then you work on that. But all women always look, you know, putting out, you know, what kind of man they want. But what kind of man likes you? What kind of man wants you? Are you ready for that? And then from that point on, they might say, well, you know what? I can be a little controlling. I can be a little over the top. I may need to lose a little bit of weight, or, you know, change my hairstyle, whatever the case may be. But you got to look at it from both aspects, from your point and his point. So there's no hope. There's a lot of men and women that go around, but make sure you really, you know, who you want, the type of guy you want, but don't place high standards. Yeah, high standards are great to have, but you can't have them so high to where a man can't reach them, or he'll be willing to reach your standards, and you can work on that from there.
So can I ask another question? I ask another question? Okay, so I'm at this point in my life where a relationship is not worth having unless it's right. So, you know, I like the 6'2" guy, you know, I like a little bigger guy. So, you know, 16, like 240, 250, whatever, you know. So, and I feel that attraction is important, because attraction and love are the things that make you want to work on the problems that occur, you know. So, if I don't have the attraction and all of the things don't line up, it's not worth settling to just say I have a relationship, you know. So as you said, you know, if the man is looking at you, what do you have to offer? And that goes along with what I said regarding, you know, be happy with your life. But that does not mean that you should settle. Are you saying that women should settle because?
No. I'm not. I would never say settle. That, as a matter of fact, I tell women not to ever settle. My thing is, if he don't meet all your checkpoints, say for instance he's 6'2" and 230, 240, you happy, you're like, ooh, I got one. But what if he's an abuser? What if he's?
No, we ain't gonna have all that. I'm just saying, you know, with women and settling. So you're not for this. You have your standards. So should women settle just to be in a relationship, Or should they really just hold out for that man that they're looking for?
No, never settle. But you got to remember, he's not going to have everything that you want, just like you're not going to have everything that he wants. We're going to have to compromise a little bit. I'll never be 6'2", right? I can get to 240 pounds, but then I'm fat because I'm 5. But look, I might be the type of guy, like I said, I'm a provider, I'm a protector, I can communicate, I can do housework, all these things. I'm not stingy, I'm not selfish, but I'm not 6'2". So if I'm not 6'2", in your eyes, it's like, oh no, we out of here. So you may find a 6'2" guy that can't cut the grass. He can't give you a massage. You know, he can't pay for your hair, your nails. What you gonna do? I'm not saying settle.
Does that mean that I should just keep looking?
How long you gonna look? You get older every day.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to in a relationship because I'm getting older, but he's not what I want. So I'm looking at this dude that's 5'9" and 180, and I'm just not into little guys. So am I supposed to, again, settle? Am I supposed to settle because he's good at mowing the lawn and something else?
Well, when you say settle, it's not really settling. It's like, okay, I can accept this part of him. Because men may not like you because you're light brown. They may like a dark chocolate sister.
Hey, right. And I would encourage them to go find that dark chocolate sister, because you know what? When we out in public, every time we walk past this dark chocolate sister, I don't want to be like, damn, I know he actually like chocolate.
Well, the man gonna feel the same way, because if he's not 6'2", you're gonna be like, oh, man, he taller than me.
Man, I need to just keep looking or be happy. And this is where this comes in again.
Settle.
I need to be happy with my life. Period.
Right.
With or without a man, so that a man is an addition and not a necessity for me to be happy. Because every day I wake up, you know, I have my own business. I got my own thing going on. Every day I wake up, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, it's another day. What am I going to encounter today? Now, I would love to have a man be part of that. And there are men that want to be part of that, but they might not be exactly what I want. But that does not mean that every day I still wake up happy, whether I have 6'2" or not. Actually, I like 6'6", but you know, that's a little stretch.
Well, see, so there you go. You came down to 6'2". You can come down to 6'6".
I come down to 6'2". I come down to 6'2".
Okay, because everybody's saying that. They like, look, 6'2", but you might meet somebody 5'4". You might, you know, on this show.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for me.
Because I'm not attracted to that. I'm not.
Don't settle.
Look.
Never settle. I'm not saying that. But see how you went from 6'6" to 6'2"? You
right.
come down to 6 feet one day. You come down.
Right.
I'm 6'1".
So let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. I know we got to go, Art.
No, we're fine. Go ahead. We good.
Leon, are you telling me to settle? Which I never said that, right? We got that. We clear, right? Don't ever settle.
Okay.
But since you went from 6'6" to 6'2", is that a selling? Are you selling from?
No, because I like. So I wear heels, you know, I'm actually kind of short without them, but with heels, I'm like 5'10" and a half. So I like 6'1" and above. 6'6", I like big guys. So 6'6", like 280 is like a wonderful fantasy type thing for me. But
that's a grocery bill.
I know that everybody's not coming in like that. So, you know, 6'1" and above is great for me. That's not settling. That's just, you know, you can't be like, he's got to be 6'2", 235 pounds, with gray eyes and brown hair and whatever. You can't do that.
I wasn't saying settle. That's what I'm saying. You gotta come down a little bit here and there. But right, that's my point. I didn't say settle. But
now 5'4", you know, our talking about 5'4", that ain't gonna never happen.
No.
Yeah, because my stepson 6'3". I can't bring you to the house, you know. Like, okay,
so now Debbie does have another question. She said, does money make a man taller?
Nope. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what my daddy told me. Now, you know, my dad died back in October, but
he did, yes.
I was the daddy's girl. And my dad told me, he said, if a man really cares about you, he's going to make sure you okay. He said, however, you never choose a man based on his money, because in the middle of the night, when that man wants to roll over on top of you, you have to like that man, because you're not going to make love to his wallet. You're going to make love to that man. So make sure that you like that man. And that's up in my head all my life, because otherwise I could have been a sugar baby and all. I had all kind of offers, you know, in my 20s and 30s and all that kind of stuff. But I have to like you. I have to like you in order to be with you. So your money doesn't matter. If you are a millionaire and you a jerk, I'm not gonna deal with you. Now,
Right.
now you can't be like homeless.
Right.
You know, we got to have some standards, right?
Right.
But you know, if the money part doesn't matter to me. I need to be attracted to you. I need to like you. If you are a millionaire or a six-figure or you know $80,000 a year and you lose your job and I like you, I'm still with you. We still building this thing together. We in it together because I want to be with you, the person that you are. If I don't like you and you, yeah, no, it's not about the money.
I'm with you, Xavier, on that.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on that.
Well,
I talk a lot too.
I plead the fifth because it really is about the money. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leon.
Talking about that. Remember, women want this six-figure man. You know, you might get a guy that makes six figures, got a horrible credit score, irresponsible. So it's not about the money. For me, with a woman, at least she can get up and work. She got some benefits and things like that, and she aspires to make more. Whatever, for whatever reason, I don't require that. But you know, I don't want to go into a relationship where we're struggling, going from paycheck to paycheck. I'm not going to do that. I lived that life before. But at least have a job, be willing to work, and if you want, you know, you want to work harder, extra hours to get the bonus, to get a pay raise. I'm all for that. But I don't set a price on what a woman should make when I'm in a relationship with her. I don't. But I mean, you know, at a certain age, you should be making a certain amount. If not, what's going on? You know, how come you didn't want to go to school? Or how come you didn't get this certification? But no, my thing is, I'm like you said, you know, you're not making love to the person's money. You know, it's that person.
Right. Absolutely.
But they got to have at least a good credit score to have access to 300,000, 400,000 with a 700 credit score, 800 credit score. If you don't have that money, it's be able to have access to it. So
you know, and this is the funny thing. You don't understand credit scores until you get one. Then you realize, okay, if I connect myself with you, you're gonna mess up all this stuff I've been working for all this time.
And a lot of people,
credit scores till you get one.
Yeah, I heard people say, I don't care about my credit score. And if we were talking and she said that, I'm out. There's no, that shows that you're not responsible for paying your bills or paying people back, you know, that you owe, whether it's a credit card or whatever the case may be.
Right. And you're not me up.
All right. Well, with that being said, you both you did a great job. I knew what two people to put on this show tonight, didn't I? I said, let me call my two people. I said, my people know people, and my people know people, and that's these two people. Leon, do us a favor. Tell us how we can connect, find, and follow you on all your social media platforms, and talk about your book.
Okay. The easiest way first is to Google me. I got a Google page now. I Inspire One, I Inspire ONE. One is my website. I'm also I Inspire One on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as Leon R. Walker Jr. I'm on LinkedIn, and my book is called Love Ship. It's available in ebook right now for $7. Paperback and hardcover you can pre-order now, but they won't be released until February 14th. So yeah, I'm all over Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google. You can find me everywhere. Not hard to find.
Very good. All right. My brother, Mr. Leon Walker, Miss Xavier Fox, do your closing comments as you always do.
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, everything, Xavier Fox. You can just Google Xavier Fox and everything comes up. I also, of course, have a book out. It's called The Men in My Life and What I've Learned. And no, it is not a sex book. It starts with my dad, and it talks about all of the prominent men in my life and what I learned from them. And that is on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version right now. So yeah, Xavier Fox on Facebook, Xavier Fox on Instagram, Xavier Fox on LinkedIn. Just Google Xavier Fox and I'll come up. And I have 3 years of shows that I did. I did a internet talk show when before people actually started doing that. 3 years.
That's right. That's right. You sure did. Absolutely. Well, you both have just been outstanding tonight. Kay Renee, what do you want to say to our amazing guests before we say goodnight to them?
Oh, I want to say just thank you. They're not guests anymore. They're family. So thank you.
They are family.
For always your authenticity. And, you know, I just want to, as everyone knows, I am the acronym queen. So I'm going to give both of you acronym because you both talked about one word, and that's hope. And hope means having optimistic, practical expectations. So continue to have hope.
Like that.
Well, Debbie did say great show. She thought it was excellent tonight. Booker T said that maybe you two might need to date.
That's
And
what I was thinking too.
see, no, because see, Joey got the real answer. Joey said, no, Book, he too short for her. Right.
I've been through that before.
Right. Leon is a really nice guy, though. He really
Yes,
is.
he
He's a
is.
wonderful guy. He is. He just great personality, everything. He really is. I'm honored to know him as a friend. Well, Melda said, great show tonight as well, too. You guys really did do an outstanding job. What were you gonna say, Leon?
I was gonna tell Xavier in about 4 more years, you'd be down to 5'10", 165.
Oh,
4 more years, you could be like, Leon, I'm
Yeah.
10 now.
Yeah. Be like, hey, Leon, how you doing, Leon? Right. Silly me. I should have. Right, silly me. Right, exactly.
All right, she told us that.
Yes.
Come on.
all right.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Very good. All right. Well, thank you guys so very much. Have a wonderful night. This was an outstanding conversation. I appreciate you both. And just thank you. Here, look, preach, Brother Leon. That is so funny. Yeah, you did do a good job. You did an excellent job tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our two relationship discussion people tonight, our good friend, Brother Leon Walker, Miss Xavier Fox, two people we just love and adore. We appreciate you guys. This was excellent tonight. Thank you guys so very much. God bless and have a good night. All right. See you later. All right. Good night. Bye. That was great. That was so good.
Yeah.
I know. That was an excellent conversation. It really was. I felt like I learned a lot in that conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. I always learn with Brother Leon and Mr. Xavier. Always learn something good.
Yes, absolutely. A wonderful duo. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kay Renee, it is nugget time, my love. Anything else you need to cover before your nugget?
Yes, this is an original nugget. Is Tell It Like It Is Thursday. And here is my nugget. I said it this morning. If people in this morning, that's right. If people can't root for your success, then it's time to root them out. And this is Tell Like It Is Thursday. Hashtag drop that mic. Hashtag plant strong roots.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more. You're absolutely right, my dear. You just said it. People that are not cheering for you, get rid of them. Get rid of them. I learned that a while ago. You'd be surprised, family that don't even cheer for you.
Oh, I know we have that in both of our families. So it's just time to root them out.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. We'll be back on Monday night to kick off Black History Month. We'll pay homage to the life and times of the late, great actress Cicely Tyson, who passed away today at the age of 96. We'll also talk about February being Heart Health Month. Dr. Janet Seabrook will join us to talk about that. We'll also start off our Black History Profiles series by talking about the late, great Miss Annie Malone, hair empire queen, Madam C.J. Walker's, who everybody else was talking about, but actually Annie Malone was around before Madam C.J. Walker. So we'll get that story on Monday night as well, too. On behalf of my amazing co-host, the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets. There she is. And you know what? Javondlynn M was absolutely right. My mom wore her hair like your hair. So I didn't even, that blew me tonight. It took somebody from my childhood to bring that back up. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to have a toast to my mother tonight. But thank you, my dear. You've been just amazing, really, as a co-host. You guys stay safe. You know what the rules are. Let's do this one more time. We're in the midst of a COVID pandemic, the COVID pandemic. Wear your mask. Make sure it covers your nose and your mouth. Make sure it's fitted tight. Yes, wear your mask. Wash your hands as often as you can. If you don't have soap and water, use that good old hand sanitizer. You know, we are sexy sanitizers on this show. Is it how we do it? We do it just like this.
I'm gonna let you do it, Art, because my phone, I want to make sure it's steady.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Sexy sanitizers, babe. That's what we do. All right. Social distance. And if you're not feeling well, keep your ass in the house. All right. We love you guys so very much. Do me a favor. Go to my website, therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. And K Renee, how do we get more people to follow us on YouTube?
You have to, once you get on YouTube with The Real Chat Daddy, hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell, because when you hit that bell, that gives notification for you. It's a reminder when Chat Daddy comes from Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, and we have a lot of people watching us on the West Coast. Shout out to the West Coast, because it's just 5 o'clock when we start. And so they say they watch us before their evening news. So we appreciate everybody on the West Coast. We appreciate people, all of our new followers as well, too. From me doing that show from Luther South on Monday night, I gained a lot of new followers from that show. So we appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. We love you guys. We'll see you Monday night. God bless. We are out of here. Love you all. Bye.